So let's continue our work with derivatives and just practice where we're going to put some of these ideas together and just some of the different things you might see in your practice problems. All right, so let's start with this problem here. So we've got h of x, and we've got 4 times natural log of x plus 3 on the cube root of x squared plus 5 over x cubed plus 6. Okay, so obviously a lot of different things are happening here. The first thing we need to do is we need to do a rewrite with the second and third term so that they are in proper form for using our derivative rules. So h of x equals 4 times the natural log of x plus 3. Okay, now be careful here. This is a rational exponent. This is x to the 2/3, okay? Plus 5 stays in the top. X comes up to the -3 plus 6. Notice I did not say h prime of x. I just said h of x because we have not done the derivative yet. All right, so now we're going to do the derivative. So h prime of x is 4, that's a constant multiple, times the derivative of natural log of x, which is 1 over x, okay? 3, that's a constant multiple, times the derivative of the x to the 2/3. This is our power rule. So it's going to be 2/3 x to the -1/3 plus 5, that's a constant multiple, times the derivative of the x to the -3, which is going to be -3x to the -4. And then 6 is a constant, and the derivative is 0 for constants. So now I'm going to just clean that up. And yes, you do need to simplify. Okay, so we'll say 4 over x plus, now here the 3's actually cancel there, right? So this is just going to be 2x to the -1/3. Okay. Right here, by the way, let me just make a quick comment right there. If you wanted to say 4x to the -1, you could. That will mean the same thing. Okay. Sometimes students ask about that. All right, and then let's keep going. I'm going to have minus 15x to the -4th because I'm multiplying the 5 and the -3, and then I'm just going to drop the 0. Okay, so that's going to be my derivative of the h of x function. Okay, so let's keep going here. So if you see a problem written like this, so let's say we got g of x equals x squared plus 2x times x plus 1. Okay, for right now, for what we have learned at this point, in order to use our basic derivative rules, we need to multiply this out. Okay, so that's going to be, use your first outer inner last, right? X squared times x is x cubed. And then x squared times 1 is x squared. And then you're doing 2x times x, which is 2x squared. And then 2x times 1, which is 2x. Now I have my g of x function in a form where I can use my basic derivative rules. Okay, so now I'm going to say g prime of x. All right, so I've got 3x squared using my power rule plus 2x to the 1. All right, now here the 2 is a constant multiple. This 2 here is a constant multiple. So that's just going to multiply times the derivative of the x squared. And I've got something else I want to say about that here in just a minute. And hopefully I won't forget. Okay, and then lastly, okay, this is one that actually kind of tricks people sometimes. So this 2 out front is a constant multiple. Okay. All right, now we have an x to the 1 there. That's my exponent there, okay? So I'm using my power rule right here, okay? So it's going to be 1 times x, and then that's going to be 0, okay? Now, x to the 0, anything to the 0 exponent is just equal to 1, right? It's just equal to 1, all right? So that's just going to be 2 times 1 right there at the end, which is going to be 2, okay? So let me keep going here. All right, so I've got 3x squared, and then this is plus 2x plus 4x, and then plus 2. And then these are like terms here, so I can combine those. So it'll be 3x squared plus 6x plus 2, okay? All right, now I almost forgot to say it, so I'm glad I stopped for a minute and had to remind myself. So back here, I could have combined, those are like terms there, and I could have combined those to 3x squared and then use the 3x squared to do the derivative, which would still just give me this 6x that I got here. So it's okay to simplify. So I could have simplified here and then gone to the derivative. That would have been fine. Or you can do the derivative and then simplify after you get the derivative. It should come out to be the same, whichever way you do it there, okay? All right, let's see here. What else do we want to do here? So here's another one. Let's see here. We've got w of x is 3 times 5 minus x squared, okay? Now, once again, to use our basic derivative rules, we're going to have to rewrite this to get this in a form that works for basic derivative rules. So I need to think about this as 3 times 5 minus x times 5 minus x. And then I need to multiply this all out. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times, right? And I'm doing 5 times 5, and then 5 times the negative x. And I'm going through all that. Okay, I'm just going to write that here real quick for a sake of time. That's what you're going to get when you multiply that all out. And then you would want to distribute the 3. So that's going to be 75 minus, oops, didn't mean to change to green there, minus 30x plus 3x squared. All right, now I'm going to take the derivative. Notice I have just been writing w of x, w of x, w of x, w. I have not put the derivative sign there because we have not taken the derivative yet. But now I'm ready to take the derivative. So I'm going to say w prime of x. Now the derivative of 75 is 0. That's a constant. Then it's going to be minus 30. Okay. This is the exponent of 1 again, right? I have a 1 there. So it's 1x to the 0, okay, plus 3, and then it'll be 2x to the 1, okay? I'm putting every little step. Now you will streamline things down yourself, okay? Like that's totally fine. I just want to put all the steps here so that you have those if you need them. So remember that x to the 0, this is just 1, right? And so I've got negative 30 times 1, which is just going to be negative 30. And then 3 times 2 is 6, and that'll be 6x. Okay, so that is my derivative there. Okay, so a lot of rewrites, right? We had to rewrite, several times just to get it into the form where we can take the derivative. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if I can squeeze a couple more in here. So this would be, let's see, number 4. So f of w is 3e to the w plus 6w plus 10. Okay. F prime of w will be, okay, now remember this 3 is a constant multiple, so that's just going to come along for the ride here. And then the derivative of e to the w is e to the w, okay? And then I've got 6, that's a constant multiple, times the derivative of w, that's 1w to the 0, okay? And then plus 0, which is the derivative of the 10, okay? The w to the 0, this is just 1, okay? So I've got f prime of w is 3e to the w plus 6, okay? And that is my derivative of that f function. Okay, so let's see. I'd like to do one more. We're going to have to squeeze it in here. And I really want you to try this one on your own to see if you can get it without my help. It, like, you know, just try it, right? That's how you're going to learn, by trying it and making mistakes, or just kind of seeing what's clicking and what's not clicking. So g of t is the 4th root of t cubed plus 3 over the square root of t plus 1 over 4t plus the natural log of t. Okay, and so a lot's going on here with the rewrite. So here's where I want you to pause it, see if you can get the rewrite correct. Okay, then check that part, and then keep going with your practice. So my rewrite is going to be t to the 3/4 plus, okay, this is going to be 3t to the negative 1/2, because I'm going to take that square root of t, and that's t to the 1/2, and then I'm going to bring that to the top, which is going to make it negative 1/2. The 3 needs to stay in the top. Now this guy right here is 1/4 t to the negative 1. The 4 needs to stay in the bottom. T needs to come to the top, which will be t to the negative 1. And then this is just natural log of t here, okay? So now pause the video again, right, and try the derivative part of it and see what you can do with that, and then play the video to see if you got it correct. All right, so my derivative here is going to be 3/4 t to the negative 1/4 plus 3 times negative 1/2 t to the negative 3/2 plus 1/4 negative 1 t to the negative 2 plus 1 over t. Okay, now let's just simplify this a bit more. So g prime of t will be 3/4 t to the negative 1/4 minus 3/2 t to the negative 3/2 minus 1/4 t to the negative 2 plus 1 over t, or right here you could say t to the negative 1 if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. All right, so hopefully you got that right or correct, but if you didn't, that's all right. Just spend some time trying to think about, what you're confused with, and, what you need to go back and review. Check in if you have questions, all right? And we will continue on with this in our next lesson. Have fun.